Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. Before we jump into this video, I would like to again welcome you all back to the channel. For those of you who are new, this is the Angry Man Podcast and Sports Media, where we're always dropping boxing related content. So make sure you become a subscriber and make sure that you all smash the like button or the dislike button if you don't like the content, but make sure that you are engaging with the content. Now, Jay, I don't know about you, but I've seen a level of confidence as it relates to Lamont Roach that would suggest he has supreme confidence, absolutely supreme confidence. I did a video a couple of weeks ago in regards to Gervonta Davis, and I mentioned that Gervonta had posted to his social media account, and he said something to the effect of, "I got to show I am who I say I am." And I just talked a little bit about that, in terms of maybe, there being a little bit of doubt, right? And that's human. That's human nature, right? It's human nature for you to get overconfident because of a performance. It's human nature for you to maybe doubt yourself a little bit if you underperformed. And I think for the most part, people would suggest that Gervonta Davis underperformed in that fight. I would say that the expectations of what was going to come out of that fight were totally different than what reality really was. And so people shouldn't really say that Gervonta Davis underperformed. But when you're an athlete and you're someone who always wants to dominate, that could feel like a bit of underperformance for you. Well, if you're going into a fight and you have a little bit of doubt, and this guy now is supremely confident, so much so that he's now talking about, Jay, that he's not going to leave it into the judge's hands, right? He's going to go for the KO. I mean, that's essentially what he's suggesting, right? Lamont Roach thinks he has the snap, the power, and the ability to catch Gervonta Davis with something and knock him out, get him up out of there, make sure that it never sees the end, right? So if I'm Gervonta Davis, specifically, if I have gotten to this point through a specific type of process, program, and team, and then I saw that I deviated from that for whatever reason. I don't know why he deviated from that, but you deviated from that for whatever reason, and you saw the performance that you had or lack thereof, then it would make perfect sense for you to go back to the recipe and the formula that made sense. Enter Coach Cal and Coach Kenny, because Coach Kenny has recently stated that he and Coach Cal are training with Gervonta Davis. The old team is back. The formula and recipe is back. And in my personal opinion, the rematch just got real, right? Because now you got Gervonta Davis, who has the team that he normally has in there. And regardless of what small, itty-bitty little doubt that, again, is human nature that might creep into Gervonta Davis's head, by the time he goes through that training camp and they go through their normal process and he starts to feel like that tank, his confidence is going to be A1 and he's going to be ready to go. So I love this rematch. I think this rematch is going to be much bigger than the first fight. I think Coach Cal and Coach Kenny offer something different, unique to what we're going to see in the rematch versus the first fight. And I think Lamont Roach's confidence is going to be so high that this could end up being a candidate for a fight of the year. I can't wait to see it. And I think we're going to see a much improved Gervonta Davis. And I think we're going to see a Roach that's going to take some risk. And that's going to make for fireworks. Jay, what are your thoughts on Coach Cal and Coach Kenny returning to the corner? And I believe that they were somewhat in the corner the previous fight, but not the head trainer. So I want to make sure I made that clarification. But what are your thoughts about the fact that they're coming back as the lead trainers?
I love it. I mean, this is what he knows. Also, I mean, I'm quite sure. I think Coach Cunningham's going to be in the corner as well, since that's where he's been at for most of a lot of this training camp already. To your point about Lamont, there's some interesting things that Lamont has posted within the last week or so. He was at the Fanatics thing for the Canelo butt presser the night before, it looked like. And like he was just enjoying himself. People think that he may have been inebriated in some type of way or just feeling good, in whatever way that may be. He was just like, he said from the first fight, he's seen everything he needed to see against Tank. He feel
Mm-hmm.
like he already got the secret sauce to take care of Tank. I'm like, well, you didn't finish it, you didn't get the job done, so you don't have the complete secret sauce to get rid of Tank, handle him just yet. So you definitely should stay in training. And the fight's in less than about 8 to 9 weeks, and you out there, partaking. How seriously are you taking this, man? I mean, I'm not saying you can't have fun, but when you're in training mode, camp mode for a fight like this, if Lamont were to go into this fight and win, that takes him to a whole nother level. He's already been at a whole nother level he's ever been at for a draw. So imagine if he were to beat Tank. So I think he should be locked in, not partaking. Just me personally. You're gonna do what you're gonna do. But me personally, I'm taking this. I would be training pretty much almost since the last fight. So once I know we had a rematch coming up, I'm in here. I'm retweaking. I'm rewatching that fight. I'm like, okay, rewatching other stuff. Like, okay, I know this Tank's gonna be better because we saw Tank. Tank was. We know he has his little theatrics where he's looking around the ring, but that didn't seem a full focus Tank. And Lamont is a good fighter despite what people said about him. We called it last year when they were supposed to fight in October and last fall winter. We said Lamont's going to be a tough fight for Tank. No. He is. The fact that Tank is now having his own recipe back, the dream team with Coach Cal and Coach Kenny, he's been highly successful with. They seem like they know what buttons to press on Tank to get Tank really going to the next level that he responds to. Not saying Barry Hunter ain't a good coach because he is a good coach, but it all depends on how that trainer bonds with that fighter. Does that trainer have it in him to really click on that, make that fighter like boom, get going? I don't think Barry had it in that last fight, or maybe it was to get him going to get Tank out of his own head. So the fact that Tank also said after that presser was like, "Hey, it's all me." I like he took accountability and he got the team back together and going back with Coach Cunningham, even with Coach Cunningham in there. And he's been training. And we see that he's tweeting. Usually when he's tweeting and just saying he's out of his rabbit A mind, Tank's really training hard. So it's going to make for an interesting fight for the rumored fight time is August 16th. It's going to be a great day. And to your point, it's going to be better than the first fight. It's going to definitely sell because this is anticipated now. People want to see, was that old Tank? Was that just a blip on Tank's career in this fight where he wasn't just a normal? Or that's who he was? And Lamont just is up there. And you got to respect Lamont even more. So it's going to make for a hell of a fight on August 16th. I can't wait. I love the fact that he's with Coach Cal and Coach Kenny because now you can't say anything. He got his team together. Lamont's supposed to be doing his thing. So let's get him to August 16th, y'all. We got one.
Yeah, and one thing that I want to, say before we close out this video is I know a lot of people try to suggest that Gervonta Davis was going through something as it relates to a court case that he had with a promoter, and I think it was a $400,000 settlement. I don't believe that that's the reason why he would have been affected in the fight against Lamont Roach, considering the fact that when he fought Ryan Garcia, I believe the case was still pending about a hit and run or something like that. So he had a much more severe case, or a case that was much more serious at that time, and didn't seem distracted by that. So I'm just putting that out there. You guys let us know what you think in the comments section in regards to this particular situation that's currently going on. We got the coaches are back. Coach Cal, Coach Kenny, I believe is going to be impactful for the rematch. Let us know what you think. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast on Sports Media, and we are out.